Hello again, this is Sam Houston, and welcome to My Front Porch. The lowest level of political vitriol. Because my lifespan seems to have coincided with the many social and political changes related to females, I've witnessed firsthand the evolution in the role of women in our society. If somehow people under the age of 40 could jump into a time machine and go back to the late 50s and 60s, I believe their jaws would drop in shock and dismay at the role and value placed on women at the time. They would learn that a woman could not obtain a credit card unless their husband also signed the application. And if a woman was single, she was almost always automatically disqualified. In several states, women were automatically exempted from jury duty, or the law required them to opt in. Many professional schools had formal or informal quotas limiting female students. In some jurisdictions, it was unlawful to supply birth control to unmarried women, and sexual harassment was not legally recognized as a workplace discrimination. Women could own a business, but banks and suppliers often required a male involvement. My own mother followed the accustomed practice of signing her name as Mrs. Donald Houston, as if being married she lost her individual identity. Hard to imagine a world where a woman was stifled in such ways, but it did happen, and it happened not that long ago. And women worked and struggled and overcame the prejudices and the social stigmas that held them back. I've never been able to think of woman as less than equal. I've been fortunate to know many women in business and in life who were far superior to their male counterparts, including myself. For the women who did manage to succeed against the prejudices and obstacles instituted by a male-dominated society, there were frequent mutterings made in the company cloakroom around the water cooler that the only reason why a particular woman had been able to progress was by her granting sexual favors to those in authority. In the eyes of the declarant, it was the only way to explain how a woman might succeed when they had not. Many times this was nothing more than the worst kind of gossip, simply a last-ditch insult because there was no real information to substantiate an allegation. Such allegations always struck me as being unfair and quite ignorant. Recently, I have witnessed repeated diatribes of how local political officials have been bought off. I have repeatedly read this type of allegation on social media and heard it in coffee shop conversations and during casual discussions. It is a bandwagon many have jumped upon. Heavens no, I do not agree with every office holder. There are some which I hold as being ineffective, exhibiting a lack of leadership, or who execute their job poorly. There are others who are so wedged into a political clan they have little time to work towards what is right or best for the community, and instead spend their time being politically correct so they remain at the seat of power. Leadership by poll and agenda. Even though I might hold different views than some office holders, I have no evidence that any of our city or county officials are being bought, bribed, or otherwise personally benefited from some sort of enumeration because of their taking a certain political position. It offends me to hear such utterances without support because it deflects attention away from the real issues at hand. If someone has such evidence, I urge them to come forward and produce the same. When people make allegations about office holders without evidence, it is not unlike the accusations of granting sexual favors made against women. Not only are the allegations hurtful, they are the worst form of gossip and reveal much more about the accuser than the accused. If you have a disagreement with an office holder or on a political issue, present your argument backed up by facts and evidence. Yelling louder does not strengthen your position. In fact, it lessens it. Our state has real issues to confront, and the consequences are significant not only to all of us, but for generations to come. We do not need to lower our political discussions to the lowest possible level. Focusing on reality instead of the hyperbole of political rhetoric might just allow us to face the issues calmly and rationally. It might even allow us to realize there are a great many views in common than we have in differences. Thought for the day: assumptions without evidence lead to false accusations. Benjamin Rose. Until next time, I'll keep riding the storm out.
You've been listening to From My Front Porch with Sam Houston, brought to you by the Granbury Theater Company. You can catch Sam's column every week in the print edition of the Gatesville Messenger or online at gatesvillemessenger.com.